Welcome to the Failed Podcast. Here we go again. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for supporting what we're doing here. I know it sounds negative, but really what we're doing is talking to people and seeing the challenges that they have in life and what they've learned from it, and we're passing it on to you. And so every guest that comes on here, they got something going. I've met them, ran into them, and something about them just stood out. And I said, you know what? I want to know a little bit about you. And today, that guy is Herman Martinez. I was at my office, at my studio, and he pulled up in a new car. And he looks like he's 16 years old. He's just really healthy. That's all. Herman, how you doing today?
Oh man, pretty good, pretty good. Blessed to see another day.
Thank you for being here on the Failed Podcast, man. What you got going on? Let's start there, okay? I know your name, Herman. It's kind of a unique name. Did you ever ask your mom, like, Mom, why'd you name me Herman?
They said they found it in the Bible,
Yeah,
so they went off of a Bible name is what they went based off of.
yeah. Growing up, how did people refer to you? Did you have a nickname, or you just been Herman all your life?
Just yeah, Herman all my life, honestly, man. I used to get teased a lot or
Yeah,
bullied because my name was Herman. So that was one of the challenges I went through as a young kid.
funny, dude. Okay, so it's interesting how we met. We office out of the same building, and there's just a lot of movers and shakers in here. I really don't interact with them because everyone's super busy. But one day, I pull up, and then like there's this like what was it, royal blue 2022 Corvette pulls up, right? And I said, man, look. I said, I guess this guy's delivering it to someone here. No, I was like, man, that's a nice car. And you happened to be right there when I walked by. And I said, bro, what's up, man? What's up with this car? Is it yours? Is it new? Something stood out, right?
Yes,
And then we talked. We've been talking a few times before this, and I realized that you're a young cat. How old are you?
just turned 25 back in January. So
25. And the reason I know you're listening and you wonder, why does he have him on? The dude's flossing with a new car. And he kind of is, but I feel that the car is representative of what he's got going on. And I don't want today's episode to make you think that like Herman's been on easy street, even though he's young and he's got something good going on, which we're gonna get into, but we're also gonna get into some challenges that you've had in your life. So Herman, tell me what you do now, whether it be for your job or for fun. What defines you right now?
man, just currently just trying to enjoy life. I went from just being a having a busy schedule. I used to work 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday
Yeah.
through Friday, and sometimes I work Saturdays, just as long hours. So I went from a long time of working that journey to just now actually, running my business,
Yeah.
working on it, and having fun and hanging out with great guys, just like you, just making time for like just making time to just take life in.
Yeah. If I wanted to hire you, right? I want to say, man, I need to hire Herman. What would Herman do for me?
What would I do for you?
Yeah. What's the service that you provide?
Man, I feel like my expertise probably is going to be such as like in sales and customer service.
Yeah.
I take care of my customers just like how I expect to be treated.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I care about a lot.
What's What's the name of your business?
Herman and Sons.
Herman and Sons. How many sons you got?
Man, I have a dog and he's like my son to me.
Okay. Why'd you name it Herman and Sons? That sounds like a library or an old company from back in the day. When it's family owned. And what do y'all do? We're building wagon wheels at Herman and Sons.
Yeah, no, man. I went based off of just it sounded good, and for my future legacy for my kids, man. Perhaps I plan on having kids sometime in the future once I find a special lady. I'll consider having kids with her and leave this legacy onto them.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so I'll put a plug in what you do um, as far as your business goes. Give me a quick like synopsis of what it is that you actually do. How do you convert a service or product into money?
Oh man, so the way we convert a service into money is just by helping them solve their problems.
Hmm.
Nothing past that, man. if they're having an issue currently, with their housewives or looking to get more money, and but they feel like they're just kind of stuck and can't make it happen,
Mhm.
we figure out complex ways how to make it happen.
Boom. So that leads me. Now you give me permission. You said uh, their home, or so you're in the real estate game.
I am in the real estate game.
You, if someone needs to sell their home for whatever reason, you're the man. They can call you. You can help them out, and you can make it happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's cool, man. Tell me a little bit about how you grew up. Tell me about kind of your home life when you were young. What was Herman doing? What were you learning that was, I guess, pointing you to what you do now?
Oh man, I guess you know, I don't remember much of my childhood other than I being, I don't know, 9, 10 years old. My dad quit his job and started his own landscaping business. So that's how I spend every summer, just working, man.
Yeah.
I remember waking up at 6 a.m. and going out in the
Ain't
sun.
nothing wrong with waking up at 6 a.m. though.
No, nothing wrong with
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
man. But like, I felt like I never actually got to like experience like sleeping in, going and watch cartoons in the morning and then
Yeah.
hanging out with friends in the front yard or something like that. Playing ball or going on the bikes. Because I mean, my parents came from nothing, man.
Yeah.
Funny story. They came to Texas on their honeymoon
Oh man.
when they were like 22,
Yeah.
21. Never left back.
Dude. Our parents' stories are amazing. Now, you said they came from nothing and he started a business. What about your dad? Did you know that he was a businessman, or was he just like a hard worker, and he happened to start a business? I mean, how did all of this develop? How did you see your dad then, and how do you think of him now when you're looking back and now you're starting your own business?
And he's not much of business savvy nor entrepreneur, I'd
Yeah,
say. He's just a hardworking man.
yeah,
That's what he is. So it just kind of like he hated the corporate job life. He was working for like a train company and just having somebody boss him around and like not only expecting out of him but pushing for more
yeah.
and
It's
like
never enough.
yeah, it's like sometimes you're never enough. It's
Yeah.
it's never enough, and he just got fed up with it and said, you know what, I'm just gonna try this out, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'll find something else.
You mentioned waking up at 6 a.m. I feel for you, bro. That's hard, man. That's hard.
Man, and
But here's my lead question. Tell What did you learn from your dad waking up that early? I think, and I imagine that he did it for years and years. My dad's in the same way, right? So, what did you learn from the 6 a.m.? What did you learn now? The respect that you have for people that wake up early. You like, you're more on the leisure side. You like waking up later, but it doesn't change the fact that you're working hard and working smart. But if you're motivating someone to kind of jump into their entrepreneurship or their passion, what would you tell them about waking up early and working hard?
oh, definitely waking up early gives you a great advantage of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part about waking up is the hardest part of the day because
Mm,
like most people like it's so much easier for you to sleep in and then just hit the snooze button about 10 times.
yeah.
But that if you get past that, you can get past anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell me about some challenges early in your life that you went through that maybe you learned from, that there were some knucklehead, things you did, and it's made you a better person today.
Some
You ain't got
some
to share them all because I know there's a long list. No, I'm joking. Just up you, what's made you who you are today?
and just I always wanted to like stand out.
Yeah,
Like if it wasn't just whenever I was like 10 years old working cutting lawns with my dad, I wanted to make sure my brother would have his own lawnmower and he'd be on a different side and I'd be on another side.
yeah.
I wanted to be the first one done, clean up my whole side,
Oh
cut
yeah,
it, weed eat it, blow it, and then be done.
yeah,
Like from there, just like I've always had like the ambition and hustle of like getting stuff done quickly.
yeah,
Beyond that too, like I walked in whenever my first sales job, straight commission, right? Walked
yeah,
in not knowing anything how to do customer service. I used to be a mechanic. Can
yeah,
you
yeah.
believe that?
Well, I remember you telling me that you wanted to be a mechanic. Like you like working with your hands and you liked like working on motors, and that was at one point that was your goal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was my goal.
And so from the mechanic to the guy that went on commission, what what happened in between there? What made you make that shift? Because that's very drastic. One is wake up early, work hard, a respectable job, but it's very different than the guy that's selling and probably has to wear a tie and speak a certain way. And every dollar you got to work for it, man. You got to
Yeah.
build it up. So what happened that took you from that, from the mechanic mentality to the I want to be a salesperson and work on commission?
Man, I had a terrible manager that just kind of like made me hate working on cars.
Oh yeah,
So that's kind of what did it for me. So I was just, if you're not happy somewhere, I
yeah,
always look for to find something else to do. So I applied somewhere else, and next thing you know, they interviewed me, and they're like, we don't have a spot in the shop, but we do need a service advisor. I think you fit the criteria. You're
yeah,
bilingual, right? And I was like, anything just to get me in the door at this point. Like I just wanted to, I was like, you know what? I just need to get out of this toxic environment where I'm at. I hated it, and at this point, let's give it a try. They told me, if it doesn't work out, then
yeah.
I'm sure in a month or two we can find you a spot in the shop and you can
Mm.
work over there. So that's kind of
How
how it went.
how old were you during this time?
20 years old.
20 years old. You're covering one job. When did you say, you know what, I'm not going to be a mechanic, and I don't want to be in the service area. I want to do sales.
Man, I guess after my first paycheck doing sales, man,
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of it was crazy. I went from making, I don't know, maybe 400 bucks a week to so straight commission, right? I knew everything about cars, but I knew nothing about customer service.
Mm.
So I guess I just had to learn how to do my customer relations.
Yeah, yeah.
Explain that repairs wasn't the difficulty, but just learning how to use a computer
Oh
for the programs they offer. That was a difficulty back then, but I learned to be ambitious about it, man. So as my first month there, everybody usually averages out anywhere from like 70,000, $80,000 in sales per month. I think I blew it out my first month there. I did $120,000 worth of sales my first month.
yeah. Selling cars.
No, no, this is just straight service.
Oh my God. This is in service, and you were getting a commission there?
Yeah,
This wasn't even sales yet.
no, this wasn't even sales
Oh,
yet.
dude. Okay, okay. I didn't know that that's how they got paid.
Yeah, man, they get a percentage of every sell they sell you on, like they sell you a set of tires or the check
Yeah.
engine light repair. They get a certain percentage of it.
What did you do different, right? Or did you didn't? What did you not learn from the other guys that made you just a little bit different? That's a big leap from 70 up to 100 plus. What did you figure out that you were doing different and maybe better?
Oh man, I was just a young, hungry kid. Is all I
Yeah,
could say, man. I know there was a guy that's been working there 20 plus years, and
yeah.
he's usually the guy that's the highest, like the big
Oh
dog. And my first month in there, beating the big dog, it made me feel like a big shot, man. And so, but the only difference for like between me and everybody else
yeah,
is I was just going after, man, just like going to talk to every customer, reaching out to everybody,
yeah, yeah.
offering everything to everyone, and
Huh.
just being that. I don't know. I guess I started off just being pushy, just like offering every service, and if they needed it or not,
Yeah,
man, it was just a hard time through my life just trying to figure it out. But
yeah.
you know, after months of just working there and being consistent about it, I learned how to value customer service and how to help people out.
So you're young, and then you walk in there, and you blow all these older guys that've been doing it for a long time out of the water. Okay, and here's typically what happens: it starts generating this confidence in the person that can kind of be annoying. Now, answer this as honest as you want to be. Did you ever become annoying, or did you respect the fact that you were just doing something different and you were still able to work with others and learn?
Oh no, man. So I'm sure they thought I was annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, I try to make them understand that at the end of the day, they don't pay my bills, man.
yeah, yeah,
They don't pay my bills. I try to be a team player as much as I can.
yeah.
Um, but it was kind of when I signed up for the job, man. It was a either swim or drown job, man. If you
That's
if
true.
if you didn't learn how to swim, you're gonna drown, and they're gonna get you out and replace you with the next person that walks in. So
So, so have you? What challenges have you had from there? What was that? What came after that? what came after the service job? Did you start selling cars, or you
So
never sold cars? You just did service.
man, so they had an issue at the dealership I was working at a while back there, right? Where management happened, something like that,
Yeah.
right? And he took all the salesmen to another dealership, and they were left with
Whoa.
like a couple salesmen.
Got it.
And they're like, "Hey, Herman, we really would appreciate you if you can come out. We don't have any Spanish-speaking salesmen out here.
Yeah.
Just if you help us out a couple hours, we'll take care of you." And I was like, you know what? That's fine. I didn't have much to do other than just work,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I guess working's always been a little passion of mine, so I was like, I'll give it a try. Yeah, and
Go buy me a little tie and
yeah,
yeah, I'll go do it.
yeah. I just I without knowing how to sell a car, I went out there and I did it, man.
Yeah.
And then just going based off that, you just learn how to like the product sells itself. You
Got
know,
it.
you just kind of gotta explain it to them.
Now it's interesting because here in the Failed podcast, I try to focus on people's challenges and failures. Okay, and I'm trying to see which failure or challenge in your life you're going to share with us so that we can learn. But till we get there, you mentioned a failure, but it wasn't yours. It was the business that you were at. So the people running the sales department, the owner or whoever, the general manager, he failed at maintaining his leaders, his salespeople,
Yeah,
and his failure cost him. And so they all ended up leaving. They all just said, "We're going somewhere else, and we're done." Their failure, because you were there and you had a reputation and you were developing your customer service skills, their failure was your blessing in a sense. And so you get introduced to another type of sales. I imagine, was it more lucrative selling cars than it was services? Was it easier? Was the number game, was it less numbers for a bigger commission? How did you start learning and developing the salesperson that Herman is today?
man, it's actually pretty easy, man. Most you go to a dealership and the guy's trying to sell you the car. He's like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, look at this paint job, look at this interior, look at these wheels." And they probably already know what they like
We
nowadays.
see cars everywhere. We're
Yeah,
in them from our friends, so it's something else.
yeah, like just learn how to approach things different.
Yeah.
Learn how to approach things differently. Let them talk. Don't do all the talking. You'll get a lot further if you're a listener and a talker.
Yeah. So that's what you learned. You learned to value listening, but then when you spoke more strategically.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell me now, you're in there, you're helping them out maybe 2 times a week. When did you start seeing that? Okay, this is something new that I really don't know, but I need to learn it because there's something here. When did you start shifting out of the service into sales?
So they didn't really let me shift out of my service position just because I was doing really great over there.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
said
So your two bosses were probably fighting. They're like, "I
no,
want them. You know, you can't have them."
no, literally yes, that
Yeah.
that, that literally happened. They wanted me to go over there, but they didn't let me. It was just kind of a conflict.
Oh
My
yeah.
numbers were too good over here for them to let me go and go over here and sell cars and try to help them make more sales.
Yeah.
But so they're like, you know what? Let's let them do both.
Yeah.
So I was the first employee there to be able to do that for sure. A little interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a little bit of conflict from one manager to another, but hey, I was making the company money, so
Yeah. So which one did you start liking more? And did you ever come to the point where you said, you know what, I'm going to quit the service side or the sales side and start focusing back on one? And at this time, you're 20, 21 years old,
like 22 at this time.
22. Okay. So what did you start learning? When did you have because you got to decide which one did you decide on?
Man, I did them both throughout the whole time.
Yeah.
I was careless about my time. I just kind of I was that's why I was working 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Dude, you were working a lot.
Yeah,
And earlier you mentioned something about, I have to wake up at 6 a.m., but, being silly. But so I imagine, tell me if I'm right or wrong, you said, hey, I'm making money, but I'm giving up too much of my time. Like, dude, I wake up, I go to work, I go home, shower, unless you're a night owl, and you go back at it, and all of a sudden you're skipping through so much of your life.
I
And so
was.
what's the difference if you have $5,000 or 500 if you can't enjoy it on yourself?
Mhm.
When did you start realizing that and saying, you know what, I have to figure something else out? This is good money, but time wise, It just there's a misbalance.
When I started figuring it out is when I started thinking for the future.
Yeah,
I was like, when I get married or when I have kids, how am I gonna have time for my wife? How am I gonna have time
mm.
to take my kids to school or be there for them?
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't
Just
be
there's no way.
there. Yeah, there wouldn't be an absolute way.
Yeah.
And like just going like just visualizing my current life in a future with another person and kids, I probably would have been divorced as quickly as I got married.
Yeah, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah,
So like I married him and then he left. He'd been
yeah,
working the whole time.
yeah. No, so I that's when it just kind of clicked to me like,
Yeah.
is this it? Like
Huh. Let me. Okay, Herman and Sons. And then right now you're working a whole bunch. You know, you work from 7 to 9 and every day you're working hard. But there's something that keeps popping up. You keep talking about the future. You keep talking about legacy. Why is that important to you? What if is it something from your parents or your grandparents that you saw and admired, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to lose it. It's important for me to be, good future husband, and especially a good father that's present. Where did you get these, characteristics?
mm, oh, that's a good question. I don't know,
That's
man.
what I do here, man, at the film. No, I know, but I'm just saying there's a correlation there. And I like it. A lot of us men or people who are career driven, they don't think about that till they have one or two divorces, in the bag, and then they're like, you know what, I really gotta think about my kid. And by that time, you're like, man, I should have thought about this earlier. And being young, dude, you're right. Even now at 25, and you already have that mindset. I just want those that are listening to kind of catch that. And it's never too early to start thinking like that because it's a beautiful thing to make money. But life is more beautiful if you can spend it with your wife. Like I get to take my daughter to school. I get to go to lunch with her. Because my schedule allows it, but it's come at a sacrifice that I control my
Hmm.
schedule. And so you're not really there yet like you are now. Okay, so take us from there that starts getting you more in control of your time and and then the value that you have, it shows up more money wise. So take me on your journey. What happens next?
What happens next? I finally realized that this time wise wasn't gonna work.
Mm,
So I started looking into real estate.
yeah.
Started reaching out to buddies that were in it. Hey man, how do I get in it? And then they were like, they're just giving me a little bit of advice. I was like, hey, I got a little bit of money. Can I invest it?
Yeah.
See if I can make a return on it or something. I
Were
don't
they
know.
pretty open? Like, how many people do you think you talked to?
I'm gonna say like solid two people at first.
Do you think they were open to it, or were they like, "Nah, man, it's my bag. I can't let you come in my bag"? Or were they?
No, I mean at first they were like a little like like maybe let's see,
Mhm.
but I just kept being pushy, kept being persistent, like taking them out for
Uh-huh.
drinks or like just
Asking questions, showing them interest.
yeah, just showing them
Mm.
interest, man, just showing them interest and showing them that I actually wanted to do it. I guess that's when they're like, okay, this guy's real about it. He actually
Yeah.
wants to do it instead of just talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Like I have a lot of guys that come up to me nowadays that hey, let's talk a little bit about real estate,
Yeah.
and like okay, let's do it. But like
Mm.
I and I'm sure if some of my followers see this, on my Instagram or whatnot, uh, I was in the same position as you guys. I was reaching out to somebody about real estate,
Yeah.
and don't feel like I'm blowing you guys off. I'm a little tied up. I showed up to this podcast about what 30 minutes late.
I'm gonna dock you 30 minutes. No, but I get it. So it's funny that now you're in the position that your two friends were. Are you more appreciative that though I don't know whichever one you partnered up with or the one that gave you the chance? Now, do you see how generous he was now? Because you see how, like, I imagine 10 people when they watch this, they'll be like, "Man, come on, Herman, hook me up, man. I want to make some money." But time is money, man. Like
Yeah.
you are busy. How do you what would you say to your friend now? The fact that they gave you a shot. At least they open the door and allow you to walk in.
Um, man, just I guess what gave him a shot. Like I knew his kind of hobbies. I knew he was a fan of soccer.
Yeah,
So I was like, hey man, let's go watch the soccer game. I'll buy the drinks.
yeah.
and sure enough, like after like a whole day of just like getting rowdy, drinking and whatnot, we he finally one day out of the blue, I still just kind of waited out, just talked to follow up with him here and there.
Yeah.
He reached out to me. He's like, "Hey man, I was think like I found this position that for real estate doesn't suit me, but I referred you over, so they might give you a call." And I was like, I really appreciate it,
Yeah.
and just from being consistent and just being there, he gave me a referral out that just brought
Wow.
me in.
Okay. So now you're shifting careers, and how old are you right at this time?
24.
24. So you're 25. So now we're gonna zoom. We're gonna jump forward. We're gonna talk about the past year in your life, okay? And from what I've come to learn, and what intrigues me about your journey. I mean, obviously your car was cool and I saw it, right?
Yeah.
No, no big deal. But that's not it, man. Like I just got to talk to you, and I said, "What does a 25-year-old have? Like either he's lucky, and that's not interesting to me, okay, or his mentality is like what he's learned, what he does different than the typical 25-year-old who's trying to make it, and you're on the up and up, right? So talk to me about the beginning, and all of a sudden you're having to learn something new again, and you're stepping into a new industry. What things did you have to change about yourself, or what new things did you have to learn to help you step into this new industry?
Man, not being scared.
Yeah.
It was a scary shift in my life, man. I went from having health insurance to
Oh man.
401k, I had a great a great commission pay. I think
Wow.
just when I was working there, I was making I don't know 80 90K just from sales.
Yeah.
So I was like, without a guy that didn't go to college,
Yeah.
making 80 90 thousand a year,
Yeah.
I was happy, and like
Dude,
leave
no, that's pretty good.
like leaving that comfortness was the hardest part.
Man, that is pretty. Okay, so you have what people are chasing as a number. They're saying, man, if I can make 75 or I can make 150 a year, I can do something in life, right? But then they forget to weigh the quality of life. And at this point, you said, man, my quality of life, I just ain't digging it. You made the shift, and you leave security, right? Like, dude, that's a hard thing. How do you get there? You're about to leave. Is this
So
a commission job that you're taking?
that was full commission, yeah. Or no, the new job that I had taken after that, he gave me salary plus commission.
Got it.
Gave me salary plus commission, but I had to like kind of negotiate a little bit because
Because you're
I'm.
pushy.
eh,
No, no, my bad. I'm sorry. Because you're a salesman.
I mean,
I'm
like
joking with you.
he interviewed me and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
really wanted me and he at the time being he thought I had talent or whatnot.
yeah,
So he just kind of paid me what I thought I was worth, and at that point I was like, you know what, made it work, and I decided to take the leap of faith, man. And that's the hardest thing out of everything, just actually trying, like doing it,
yeah.
because most people won't like take that leap of faith or do it.
But okay, okay. Let me throw something in about the leap of faith. People will probably take a half leap, but people don't know you went all in. You went. Not only did you leave your job, but you went in with money. Didn't you have a house? Like you went in with like all in. Like everything was riding
Oh,
on this new thing.
oh yeah, man. I had like a brand new 2020 Silverado. I had a I had a house I was living in.
Yeah.
I have a mortgage to take care of.
So
I
a
had a
lot
car.
is on the
A
table.
lot is on the table, man. Like, and also all that pressure just kind of was like
Mm.
like that pressure that you put on yourself makes you work harder.
Did you ever worry in the beginning? Like
Oh hell yes.
how did that worry feel, and what were some of the real worries that you had?
So this not working out, and how the hell am I going to pay for my mortgage? Am I
Yeah.
going to get foreclosed on? Is my not being able to make my car payment? Is my car going to get repoed?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I figured out that there's an exit strategy to everything. So to to offset my to like leverage my risk, decided to rent my house out.
Yeah.
We were renting it out. So now paying itself off, and I make a couple $100 a month.
Yep.
So I made that go away.
Yeah.
I ended up selling my truck. Had quite a bit of a equity in it, so sold it,
Yeah.
kept some cash, and
Nice.
built a little cushion to just decide to do it. But I had to go buy a cash car after that, so I was
Yeah.
driving like a old beat up Ford from driving a brand new 2020 Silverado,
Dude.
and just to I did those small, like, I loved my house, man. I had a beautiful house,
Yeah.
and I went from, like, I left that, moved back into my parents.
Yeah.
I sold my brand new truck, kept some cash, and jumped into a little small beat up truck.
Dude. And then like 80, 90,000 a year. You're really believing. See, to me, I see all that, and some people are crazy. They'll never try it, but all that tells me is that you believe in yourself, right? Because you're investing in yourself. I
Yeah.
understand that there's an industry you're stepping into, but it's you that have to make everything happen. So from the outside looking in, right? It could be like, man, Herman took some steps back, man. Like he had it going. Look at him now. How did you feel about that? And I understand that you had some goals, right? How did you feel during that time? You're like, dude, this is bad, or did you just feel positive the whole time?
No, man, I did not feel positive at all. I went back sleeping in my parents' house in a twin size bed from sleeping in my king bed at home,
Yeah,
having the luxury of, like, waking up in my underwear and walking around the house,
yeah, doing what you want.
doing what I wanted. I was like, man, did I just really leave everything that I, like, worked hard for? Like, man, I was like, did I make a mistake? I had that gut feeling for a little bit. I was like, you know what, man, just push through it. Just push through it.
Yeah.
Brighter days will come.
There's a goal that you told me that you had. Okay, and I know you reached it, so I kind of spilled the beans. But there was a goal that you wanted to buy a car. You wanted to walk in and buy a car based on, I don't know how it was. Was it buying a car cash or buying a like the was the car the Corvette like your dream car?
Yeah,
And so that was one of the goals that you had in front of you, right?
that was.
So you made that goal, and then you're building. You're working for someone. And how long are you with that job that your friend referred you to?
I was with him like 6 months.
6 months. And
Yeah,
you're like, man, this the real estate market is popping. And you break off. Right now, it's just Herman working for someone. Herman and someone. And
yeah,
then when
yeah.
did you go from Herman and someone to Herman and Sons?
Uh, come uh, come January, man. Ja-
January 2022.
yeah, January. So my birthday weekend comes up, right? But January 20th. And this is a current incident that just happened.
Yeah,
I go on vacation for my birthday. I go see a buddy of mine
yeah.
out in New York. I go out there, have a good time. I actually had an accident out there, man. I ended up slipping. I bust my head open.
What?
Yeah, there's a little bit of ice on the road or something like that. And
In the sidewalk, and you had to go to the hospital in New York.
man, so I got up and I was like holding my head and I'm bleeding and all that blood made me faint. So next thing you know,
What?
I'm being rushed in the ambulance in New York.
Yeah,
So it was a little scary, man. A little scary for sure.
dude. And what they tell you? How long were you in the hospital?
Oh man, 5 6 hours, something like that.
Did you come out like talking French or being know how to do math? No,
Man, I'm pretty sure I had a mild concussion.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely. No, I had a mild concussion, and so I get back home, right, and I'm having this terrible. I'm having a terrible birthday at this point, right?
Oh yeah.
Just I spent my birthday weekend at the hospital. Um, the birth. I mean, I hung out with my parents. Nothing really special.
Yeah.
I mean, it is special hanging out with my parents and enjoying
Yeah.
my
But
family
you're
time.
young, dude. You want to like have fun and party. I get it. I get it. So
Yeah,
it's a little
yeah.
different.
Yeah, just one, not entirely, party or whatnot. I guess I was just going through like a rough time that I want
Ah,
to touch bases on there,
yeah,
you know. So I was already just having like 3 month,
yeah.
and then what makes it, put the cherry on top. I come back with, a hospital bill from New York,
Oh man.
and I was like, man, this shit can't get worse. I come back and the company I was working for, right? He tries to, change the pay plan or whatnot, and I was like, it was to a point where
Wow.
it just didn't work out for me. Like, I just didn't like it. It didn't work out for me, And so I had to just do quick thinking, man. I was like, you know what, man, I know how to do it, and it's something that I've always wanted to just try it out.
Now, I have to stop you. Don't lose your train of thought because, you're like the golden boy, because you're young. And so far, everything's been going good. You step into something, you make some money. You step into another job, you make some more money. And all of a sudden,
Well, no, man, I didn't really make money at this
no,
previous
no, I'm
job.
talking about the
Uh,
at the commission jobs. But here's my thing. Here's what I'm leading up to that I like
okay.
is that I see that this is the first. This is like I know you've had other challenges, but this challenge is good for people to hear and figure out what you did to overcome it. Here's the challenge. You're back at home and you're questioning if you made a mistake, right? You left your job security, you left your salary, and along with other things. Then you go to New York to celebrate yourself, and you bust your head open, dude, and you're in the hospital. So that's another thing that's just like, dude, come on. And then the bill comes,
Bill comes,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so that's a few things. So then you get home, and then the guy that or the business you're working for, they're you can't make that much money. Let's change some things, whatever. You can kind of do the math, and you see that it's not beneficial to you. Okay,
Yeah.
so all these challenges are present in your life, and it's a lot, dude. Like it can lead to depression. Like that's how
Oh
heavy this
man,
is.
so
So
I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I was depressed during my birthday.
there you go. And so now I want to know what you did to overcome that and how long it took. Like because here's why. There's people that are like they have a gray cloud over them right now because they got a lot of things that they're not going their way. We're all great when it's one thing. Ah man, I went to the hospital, that's it. But you have a few things stacked and up to now, dude, you're driven, you got a good head on your shoulders, but this is more inner. This is really testing the inner
Yeah,
Herman.
man. Let's rewind it back to January, man. Depressed, seeing a therapist,
Mm,
anxiety through the roof, couldn't sleep. You
mm.
name it, man. I was going through all of it, like,
Yeah.
and then so I was like, maybe I just need to get out of the city. I need to get out of Texas for the weekend and just kind of just get my mind out.
Yeah.
Out. I mean, some people might not have the luxury, but for that, I mean, you gotta sometimes you gotta make stuff for time. I mean, my plane ticket to New York that weekend was like $100 round trip.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you need to just get out and like refresh your mind
Got
and enjoy life, and then you come back and that helps you calm down a little more.
it. Yeah,
Not in this case though. For me, it just kind of went from like being depressed, having anxiety issues. I felt like I just lost everything
mm,
that I ever worked for. Like I'm driving a car now.
yeah.
I'm renting my house out, and I'm not and like the only
Mm,
way I can keep it is by renting it out. It,
yeah.
you know, and so like stuff like that. Like it's just kind of like, man, like did I make a mistake in my life?
Wow.
And and then like I also had like just personal issues as well.
Yeah.
Just I started losing all that confidence,
Wow.
and then I realized I'm like, and then like I guess, and then after that, like we I split ways from where I was working at. Um, I realized I was like, you know what, man, I think I had a little bit of cash saved up still,
Yeah.
and I had a I don't know, I think I had a Rolex at the time still. I always like to keep a nice watch on me.
Yeah.
I don't look at them as a trying to be flashy. I look at them as a bank, man.
Yeah.
You know, if time in need, just take it off, go sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I sold any asset that I had that just was worth a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Stacked up a little pile of cash, and decided to like, I'm just gonna start doing real estate, doing what I was doing. And then next thing you know, I had a friend reach out to me that I just networked through at the time, working in another company. And he's like, hey man, like I'd like to reach out to you and see if you're interested in working something out together.
Mm,
So just kind of from there, now he's my mentor slash partner.
yeah.
He's helped me to start my company, and
Man, that's tough.
but
I
yeah,
mean, you were in a dark place, and then you decide. In the dark place, you said, I'm still going all in."
oh
Like
yeah,
like you still have to have something to aim at, and it's sad, for people that are going through challenges that are stacked, dude. Just like what you explained now, and they're not aiming at nothing. I think it's so important for an individual
well,
to have like something they're aiming at, because imagine if you didn't. Oh my gosh, dude! Like you would have been really bad.
yeah, man. I really didn't know what to do. Like there was a point where I was just like at a standstill. Like how much money I have into building this brand, and let's do it. If it and I came in the mindset like if it works, great. If it doesn't, you know what? I could start all over when I get to 30.
Yeah, you're gonna start over a few times.
So next thing I did, and it's not even about like I didn't have that much money either. I went and got a credit card. They approved me. I don't know for like 10 grand.
Yeah.
Maxed it out to do get my computers, get my
Oh,
call center going, get all the the things that I need to just
yeah.
run my business. And then when you put yourself in that position where it's either you do it or you fail, you're gonna find a way how to do it.
I believe it, man.
Like literally, I just went through all these challenges
You did it. You're
and
like, I'll do it. I'll figure it out. I'll do it. I'll figure it out. You've made a lot. Not. I've just used the word a lot because I don't know the number, but you've had a lot of mistakes when you first started. You invested the 10,000. It's all this. What's next? And then another
yeah,
challenge and another challenge, and you're adjusting, and it's
yeah.
happening, and you're like, that's helping you keep your mind off of all the other stuff, and it's helping you build something. So Herman and Sons is finally being made, right? So during that, okay, from that time, take me up to, your goal of having your car, and tell me what it felt like when you got it, when you reached the goal, when you drove it up to your parents' house, or just when the wind's blowing in your hair when you're driving it. Tell me that feeling. Because
Oh
at the end
man,
of failure, if you don't let it conquer you, there's victory.
yeah,
There's success.
yeah. No, so I just didn't let failure come in my way, man. That next month, after it was like mid January when all that started happening. So the next 3-4 weeks, staying up till like 1-2 a.m. working on it, researching,
Mm. Yeah.
going all in
Yeah.
till I figured it out. And so the Corvette that happened actually when I had my stable job.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's when you.
Yeah, yeah. So I was working at a dealership and they offered it to me whenever I was there because
Yeah.
I was making good sales money there, and they were like they're like, hey, you want to go on the waiting list for a Corvette? I was like, yeah. I was like, you know what? I looked at my finances. I was like, back then I was like, yeah, I can afford it, man. Let's do it, you know.
Yeah.
And now like I got the like call like, hey, your car should be arriving, some point March. I'm like, damn. And then they call me like through during this
Yeah.
time frame while I got this all these issues going on. I was like, you know what, like, man, I don't even know how I'm gonna be able to get that car. And so like I'm just seeing my dreams just kind of like go away, and then like I don't know, man. Just there, I guess thanks to God for sure. I praise everything that I do to God.
Yeah.
Uh, there was at one point in my life where I like questioned Him, and never again. Without Him, man, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
where I'm at. And just I would go through all these hard times, and now I'm like making my business out. And then I think just last month, between me and my partner, I think we sold somewhere about $750,000 worth of real estate, and
Dude, that's great.
it's been working out great. Now I got it, working it. Now I'm gonna jump into my first fix and flip. Uh, this is the days are getting easier now.
Yeah.
The tough days have passed, but you just got to keep going, man. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Whenever you feel like the world is ending, or you just feel depressed, or you don't feel like waking up, or you don't feel like eating, just I promise you, just if you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, you're gonna stand out.
And your goal was almost driving away without you in it,
Yeah,
right?
my goal is literally
Yeah. So,
weeks away, literally weeks away, with like driving away from me.
and what happened when because obviously you got the car, you reached your goal, and I'm not trying to be like superficial. I just like that. That's how we met. That's why I keep pointing
Sure,
it
sure,
out.
sure.
What happened when you what at what point did you say I'm gonna get the car because things are going good, or what? And then how did that make you feel to think I almost lost it a month ago? Like I was like, what the heck am I doing to? I'm gonna get this car.
Um, you know, I guess after having my first few deals closed in real estate, man,
Yeah.
it's kind of I was like all right, I'm
You're like,
back.
I ain't walking nowhere. I need to get where I'm going really
Yeah,
fast.
pretty. Uh, no, I mean I also looked at it as a financial decision as well. Like anything I do, kind of like just I make sure it's a safe investment or a safe purchase.
Yeah.
So this car is worth I don't know. I think you can go down to CarMax or Carvana or something like that and buy it for about 100 grand, 105 grand. Since I waited 2 years for it, they gave me MSRP, which was like I don't know. I think I out the door was like 70,000 for it.
Wow.
So I walked into equity with the car.
Yeah. I
So
love it.
yeah,
That's great.
so that's why I thought I did it more for as a financial decision,
Yeah.
just because I mean the car looks great and I'm in love with it,
Yeah.
but it's more of a like, you know what, like the bank's gonna give me this car for zero money down, and I got 20 grand in equity already just sitting in.
Yeah.
I mean, I got good credit, you know, and then after closing my first few deals in real estate,
Yeah.
you know, I got like everything just kind of started lining up back up. So I went from like a downhill, and I'm finally coming up, and
Nice.
I still don't feel like I'm at my peak yet, man.
It's all good.
I still feel like I got a lot more coming
I
up.
feel like if you can chase your peak your whole life, you always keep growing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So it's all good.
It's like you got to do little mountains, man. You know, just
Oh
the
yeah.
little mountain, next mountain gets a little bigger. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when like there's a mountain like Everest, obviously, but there's like a K9, and so you literally have to go up levels that take days, and then rest for a minute
Hmm.
to get acclimated, and then you go again. And there's still no guarantee you make it to the top. There's so many challenges, and I feel like your journey is kind of like climbing a big mountain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so let's finish the episode. I'm gonna ask you a few questions just to get your perspective. Considering the jobs that you had, some of the goals that you've met, and that you're on the up and up now, man. I'm just curious, how do you feel whenever you hear the word failure?
Bit of war failure. Man, I honestly, I think it's just a word. You know, I don't like it, man.
Yeah,
I don't really don't like failure. It's just it's not in my dictionary. You know,
good.
it definitely is not a word that I like to keep around me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I imagine self confidence, believing in yourself is. How do you? What would you tell someone who has maybe low self esteem right now because they've been through some things, right? Maybe they ended up back at their parents. Maybe they've made a bad choice that the future doesn't look so promising, but they're at that state where they have to believe in themselves, go all in order to get to the next level.
Man, something that you know helps me is just going to church every Sunday, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like not like it's just like God will actually guide your life if you listen to Him, man.
Yeah.
He will make sure that you're okay. Just listen to Him, listen to the word that you know they're preaching that Sunday. Like it's like every time I go every Sunday, so whatever they're preaching about, it's literally reflecting on like what's going on that this week with me.
Yeah. It feels like the lights right on you.
It feels
Like
like
what the?
it feels like
I don't even know the pastor. He's talking to me.
yeah, no, literally, yeah. I feel attacked sometimes, you know, and so I
So be
guess
grounded. You gotta have something that's solid, man.
so yeah. That's what like you know helps me. You get the confidence.
Yeah.
Also, you know, not caring about what other people think. You know,
Yeah.
that's
That's a hard one.
that's a hard one, man. Especially you know through the life that we're living right now. Everything's like social media
Oh,
based.
I
They're
know.
internet based, and people
True.
can go off and mouth off on you. You
I
know,
don't. Okay to be real. It's okay not to worry about what people say, but just be real. And nothing wrong with authenticity.
you know, I use my social media more just you know just to show the good things in life. I don't really like to get personal on there. Just kind of
Yeah.
just show the good times and that's it. You know, I kind of use that as a marketing tool,
Yeah.
just to bring more attention to like what I do. Because if I bring more attention to what I do, it's gonna help me get
Yeah.
you know
It
get
makes
a little
sense.
bigger. So that's how I see it. So you know, I just I don't care what people think, you know,
Yeah.
or that what I'm doing. You know, if you like it, great. If not, you know, unfollow me. I'm not.
Yeah.
You don't have
Yeah.
to follow me.
Yeah.
You know.
It's all good. I love it, man. What encouraging words do you want to leave to our listeners that are, trying to take a big like a big change in their life, a big risk, what would you tell them?
Man, there's like this one video I saw earlier last week, right? If you didn't make it in your 20s, you'll make it in your 30s. If you didn't make it in your 30s, you'll make it in your 40s. You know, if you didn't make it in your 40s, you'll make it in your 50s, man.
Yeah.
Like they're like, take the risk. Like, what's holding you back? Failing. The only difference between failing and you know and being like and being stuck to where you're at isn't that you actually didn't try it.
Mm.
Like, what makes you different from everybody else is that you actually tried, and that's all it takes.
Well, Herman, I want to thank you, for coming on the Feld podcast. I I love your story, man, and I know that you're barely beginning, and I'll be keeping up with you. You know, when you do you like Ferraris and Lambos?
Yeah, I do.
Could you possibly be rolling up in one? When you do,
No,
when you do,
man.
I'm gonna hit your ride at Starbucks. But I wish you much success, and thank you for coming on the Feld podcast. It was fun. I'm rooting for Herman. How about that? Herman and Sons,
Thank you for
man.
having me. Thank you for having me.
I'll put the info below just in case if you may need his services. You don't, you never
Yeah,
know.
yeah. We buy land and we buy houses cash as is.
Boom. How you like that? Well, I hope y'all enjoy your day. Thank you for tuning in.